Hey everyone, it's been a while since I've done a video like this, just you and me, but I've been overflowing with ideas this year, so I hope to start sharing those with you again. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how a great portfolio is made. If I look at some well-established professional illustrators' websites, everything on their portfolio is top quality, all killer, no filler. It's no surprise that a new illustrator looking at their favourite artist's work can come to feel a bit demotivated, because they can see these pros with incredible portfolios and not feel like they can compete. I've certainly felt like that. These YouTube videos are pretty basic, and if I spend too much time analysing Peter McKinnon or Ali Abdaal's videos, I feel a bit jealous because I can't do it to the same level they can. But they've been doing it for a long time and in a much more intense and deliberate way than I have. They're professionals at content creation and I'm a beginner. When a new illustrator compares their work with a seasoned professional, there is no fair comparison. You can learn a lot from looking at an experienced illustrator's work, but comparing yourself to them is like comparing a high school essay with a PhD thesis. When you're just starting out in your freelance career, the main focus is on getting your portfolio good enough so someone will hire you. It doesn't have to be perfect to do that, it only has to be good enough to get clients interested. If you wait until your portfolio is perfect before you start sending it out to clients, you'll have waited too long. For one thing, it never can be perfect. The better you get at your craft, the more potential you have, so there will always be room for improvement. And I'm sure those high-level illustrators are harsher critics of their own portfolios than I am. They can see the stronger pieces and the weaker pieces, even if a casual observer can't. And secondly, putting your work out there for real-world feedback is one of the best ways to improve it. The only way you can get closer to being perfect is with real-life experience and feedback from industry professionals. So you've got to put your work out there sooner rather than later. By yourself, you can't know if it's good enough to get you hired. The only way you find that out is by testing it. So don't aim for perfection. Work on your portfolio quickly and cheaply, then send out examples to try and get some feedback. If you get lukewarm responses, or no responses at all, you probably have some more work to do. Spend some more time on it, test it out again, and repeat the process until you start getting encouraging feedback or hopefully a commission. This process has been at the front of my mind for a while now as I write my book. I could think of it like a portfolio of my ideas on the illustration industry. I could think of each chapter as being its own piece. At the start, I just got into writing mode. I got everything down I wanted to say in my first draft, and as soon as I had a reasonable amount done, I sent it out to some test readers for their feedback. They told me what they liked, what didn't make sense, and made suggestions on things that I'd missed. I then went back to my first draft and made additions and edits, and I repeated the process until I got to the end. The first draft was better than I could have made it by myself because I got feedback from people in my target audience. For an illustrator, that could be other illustrators or classmates or anyone you think could provide you with some useful feedback. The next step for me was sending it out to my editor to get professional feedback. For you, that might be a portfolio review from the Association of Illustrators or an agent or an art director. My editor had plenty to say about my writing. I'm a beginner at it after all, and I'm now in the process of working through that feedback, and while it will take a while, it will be a better book at the end. I could have published my first draft without any feedback, but it probably wouldn't be any good, and nobody would buy it. When a comedian goes on tour around the country, the delivery and timing of every line and every joke has been tested with different audiences. Comedians get immediate feedback on their work. If it's not funny, nobody laughs. They don't necessarily abandon the joke, they work on it and they try to improve it until it does what it's supposed to. But sometimes a joke or a chapter or an illustration just isn't working and it should be abandoned. When you've spent a lot of time on something, you might be reluctant to let go of it, but a good portfolio is just as much about what you leave out. Those professional illustrators with amazing portfolios aren't showing everything they've ever made, they're showing a curated selection of their best work. It's an art gallery, not a warehouse. A great portfolio evolves over the entire course of an illustrator's career. At any given time, it's just a snapshot of their best work so far. An illustrator with 10 years experience has made loads and loads of good illustrations, but they've also made a lot that aren't very good. Not everything you make has to be perfect. You'll probably learn more from the ones that aren't that good. Don't let perfection stand in the way of producing lots of work, because the more you do, the better you'll get. See you next time.